$1,194 each and every month, and the major problem for the low income. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now in this video, we're going to be discussing some very important numbers that directly relate to the low income and fixed income beneficiaries and how these numbers are now presenting a major problem for millions and millions of low income individuals all across the country. That's what we're going to discuss right here in the video, so let's get right into it. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and because I am your one and only daily advocate, I'm here for you right by your side every single day, watching all this new information that's hitting the wire, doing all the necessary research, and breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay updated with what's actually going on, and most importantly, how it's going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account. And of course, I also want to point out anything out there right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of as a low income or fixed income beneficiary, including money, benefits, raises to benefits, checks, programs, stimulus, or anything else like that. Of course, I want to bring it to your attention right away as things are changing very, very fast right now. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any videos going forward. And let's get into it and talk about the $1,194 every single month, and of course, the major problems this is presenting for the low income, millions and millions of fixed income beneficiaries as well, all across the country. Let's get right into it. All right, so the deal is, we've been talking about things like this for a very long time. In fact, a couple years now, we continue to see all these reports coming out suggesting benefits need to be increased. There's all these bills, packages, and proposals floating around Congress to, again, increase benefits. We know that benefits are significantly below the federal poverty line. We have high inflation right now. Benefits are not keeping up with inflation. We're losing purchasing power of the benefits. All kinds of things. Basically, what it comes down to is millions and millions of low-income beneficiaries need higher benefits. That's the moral of the story, and we all know this, right? As a fixed income beneficiary, you know, I mean, seriously, I'm preaching to the choir. We all completely understand this stuff, right? We know this. What we really need to do is we really need to get on the phone with Congress and tell them all this business, because ultimately, at the end of the day, they are the ones who make all the decisions as far as will we get more? Will we get some kind of relief, or what's going on there? So it really comes down to them. So again, I completely understand. You know this. This is no shock at all. And again, I see the comments down below literally every single day. I see the stories, people coming out saying, I have 46 cents left in my account, and that's all I have for the rest of the month. I have $1.24 for the rest of the month. You know what I mean? Again, you've probably seen it as well if you've ever read through the comment section, which I do every single day. Anyway, I want to bring to your attention the $1,194 and what this now means on an ongoing monthly basis, and why this is spelling major issues for low-income and fixed-income individuals all across the country. So here's what it comes down to. I want to focus on the federal poverty line for just a minute here. Here's why. As many of you know who are low income or fixed income, you know that all of these other programs out there right now, like utility assistance, housing assistance, internet assistance, food assistance, you name it, all these other programs that are out there are all based on your income versus the federal poverty line, right? So for example, some of these programs, your eligibility is based on, 130% of the federal poverty line, 150% of the federal poverty line, 180% of the federal poverty line, 200% of the federal poverty line, all kinds of things like this. And if your income is at that level or below, then you might be eligible for benefits. And again, that's the case for a lot of these low-income programs. It's all based on the federal poverty line. Therefore, we got to watch it very closely to see what's going on here. And again, we always want to compare how monthly benefits are compared to the federal poverty line, because I'm going to say it again. I've said this many, many times, but I want to say it again here. The president has said a couple years ago, he said, no older adults or people with disabilities should ever need to live in poverty in America. Well, to me, that is, if I read between the lines here, that would tell me that why would benefits be below the federal poverty line if the president believes that no older adults or people with disabilities should be living in poverty in America, right? Again, just saying. All right, so here's what it comes down to. In 2022, The federal poverty line, $13,590 or $1,132 each and every month, which is the $13,590 divided by 12. That's what it comes down to. However, here's the interesting part. From 2021 until 2022, the federal poverty line increased by $710 over the course of the entire year, or 5.51%, okay? Now, remember, that was from 2021 to 2022. Now, here's the deal. In 2022 to 2023, it's expected to rise yet again by another $749 or 5.51%, using the same metric as well, from $13,590 in 2022 to $14,339 in 2023. However, here's the major problem. A lot of fixed, by the way, the $14,339 divided by 12 months through the course of the entire year is $1,194 on a monthly basis. All right, so I want to give that into perspective as well. Here's the problem though. Most fixed income benefits are well below the $1,194 going into 2023, okay? So, as you can see here, you can already see the problem that is starting to persist here. A lot of these fixed income benefits, again, Social Security retirement, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, many of these fixed income benefits are well below the federal poverty line. Even though we've seen a lot of these reports coming out saying, the average retiree is getting $1,657 per month in 2022 or $1,358 in 2022 as an SSDI beneficiary. These are apparently the averages, which again, it seems kind of high to me, but these are the averages. But what about all the people that are still well below the federal poverty line, right? Again, you can clearly see what's going on here. So in 2023, we're going to see the great divide yet again, because here's the problem. Benefits are not increasing up to the federal poverty line unless Congress does something to address this issue. And again, the cost of living adjustment, yes, it's going to be nice for 2023. However, it's still going to come in short. Let me give you a quick example. Let's use SSI for example. And again, I know a lot of you here in the community receive benefits from other programs like Social Security retirement, SSDI, right down the list, right? We know all of this. However, I want to use SSI as a quick example just because this is a great kind of a number, nice round number we can work with here. And I want to use this as an illustration to show you how far below the federal poverty line we actually are. Here's what it comes down to. 2023, the federal poverty line, again, adjusting to about $1,194 every single month. However, what is the maximum benefit you can get on SSI in 2023? Yep, you called it, $914. That is almost $300 below the federal poverty line. That's a huge, huge percentage below the federal poverty line, right? So, in just this one example alone, you can clearly see right here that as the federal poverty line continues to adjust higher, because it generally adjusts higher each and every year based on the cost of living, based on inflation, based on a variety of factors, the federal poverty line does increase each and every year. Just like we saw from 2021 to 2022, it increased by basically 5.5%, $710, okay? Same metric going forward in 2023. Again, the same thing. It's going to increase. Therefore, it continues to show that these fixed income benefits are still well below the federal poverty line. Now, I did not run a percentage on that as far as how far below the federal poverty line the SSI benefits are in 2023. I guess I could, roughly calculate that. Maybe like 26% or so. I'm just going to kind of roughly guess there, kind of based on some mental math. I mean, that's not completely accurate. But again, I'm just kind of roughly adding and rounding that in my head as we talk here. But it's that. You can see a huge, huge percentage below the federal poverty line. So again, nearly $300 more is what SSI beneficiaries in this one example would be due just to bring benefits up to the federal poverty line just for 2023. So this gives you a quick example of what's going on and the major problem that is going on with the federal poverty line continue to increase. And the major problem being fixed income benefits are not keeping up with that. Now again, as I did say, SSI, you could fill in the blank there with anything. It could be Social Security retirement. It could be SSDI. It could be SSI. It could be VA. It could be survivors benefits. It could be other fixed income programs. It doesn't matter. I was just using SSI as a quick example because we all know the maximum benefit for SSI, whereas the maximum benefit for Social Security retirement and SSDI, these numbers are always very different. However, SSI, we always know it's the 914 for 2023. So I wanted to use that as an example. But again, it's not only specific to SSI. It could be SSDI, retirement benefits, any of these other benefits. It doesn't really matter. It's all the same situation, which is benefits are well below the federal poverty line. I don't know how else to put it. This is what it really comes down to. And like I've said before, the president made that remark: no older adults or people with disabilities should ever need to live in poverty in America. Nice statement. You're right. They shouldn't need to live in poverty in America, but why is that still happening? Is anybody else wondering that same question, or is it just me? Why is this still happening if that is such a strong belief by the president? Again, just saying, you know what I mean? So, just saying. And again, I don't take political sides in my videos, but rather I want some clarity on all of this as to why is something not being done about this, or at least why are they not even talking about it? Again, they could talk about it, and all they're going to do is just say, well, we want to do this, and they're going to point the finger at everybody else, right? Again, we've seen it all before. All the politicians do it. So, it's really what it comes down to. However, to be fair, there are some pieces of legislation in Congress right now to raise benefits up to the federal poverty line, and there are some other pieces of legislation out there to at least increase benefits. Now, some of those pieces of legislation may not increase benefits up to the federal poverty line, but at this point, any increase would be better than nothing. You know what I mean? So at this point, we feel like give us anything. Seriously, we'll take whatever we can get. You know what I mean? So above and beyond the cost of living adjustment, because that is nothing other than trying to keep up with inflation. And we all know at this point, the cost of living adjustment is well below what real inflation actually is. So that doesn't even keep up, right? Anyway, I want to bring this to your attention because this is the real fact of the matter. This is really what's going on in the world, in this country, and I wanted to bring it to your attention because this is very important to understand. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for right now. So if you haven't done so, please make sure to subscribe down below. Make sure to share this video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, please have a nice day. Leave your comments, questions, and feedback down below. And again, subscribe down below. Totally free to do so. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later in the